I caused a controversy between Coach Brannon and Coach Smalley.
See, when he
You mentioned earlier, I only played basketball. Well, my junior year, I started for the basketball team. And Coach Smalley, one of our plays that was very, very, very successful is my job. I was as playing the 5 position, the center. I was under the basket. So when the other team scored, he wanted me to catch the ball as it came out the net, step out of bounds, and baseball pass to the other end on a fast break. Well, there was one of the 3 seniors on the team was a guy by the name of Eddie Billingsley. Eddie's now passed. But Eddie could absolutely fly, and he's the only person that I have ever known. He made me look like I was great. It did not matter when I threw the ball down the floor. He could run full speed looking over his head, going toward the other goal, and he would catch the ball, so it never went out of bounds. And I could throw it straight, or I could throw it down one of the edges. I just threw it. I slung it, hoping it stayed in bounds, and Eddie would run under it, catch it, and score. I remember one game he had like 30 points at halftime over at Oliver Springs. But anyway,
you know that?
Coach Brannon saw me throwing a basketball, and he came to me and said, "You ever play baseball? You need to play baseball." So that year, when basketball was over, between my junior and senior year, I went in to clear out my locker, and I had my baseball glove because I'd never played organized baseball. And Coach Smalley met me in the locker room. I guess he caught wind of what was happening, and he called me in his office, and he said, "If you've got a future, do you think that future is going to be in baseball or basketball?" He didn't want me to play baseball. He wanted me to dedicate my off-season time to becoming a better basketball player. Well, when that worked, I didn't show up at baseball practice that day. Coach Brandon was mad at me for not showing up because he thought I was coming, and he was mad at Coach Smalley for talking me out of going. Coach Smalley came back to me the next day and said, "If you want to play baseball, you go play baseball." But I had already committed to him that first day. "Okay, Coach, I'll stay and do basketball." And then my senior year, I didn't even get to play 2 games, and I was done anyway. So, did I make the right decision? I don't know.
From the Hall of Fame standpoint, we also, over the years, have put in people as contributors.
Okay.
Like we had a doctor, Dr. Walter Shea, that was on the sidelines that did physicals, never charged. He went in the Hall of Fame as a contributor. And
Glenn McNish
he went in as a contributor. We've had quite a few contributors. But Casey Brandon's not in the Hall of Fame.
He's not.
Where'd you read that at?
I don't know where I saw it.
He's not in the Hall of Fame. Because that shocks me. Because
Why? I didn't realize that.
John Brandon's not in the Hall of Fame.
In my opinion, he should be.
Time out. I'm wrong.
He is in the Hall
I
of Fame
missed it.
after all.
I missed it.
Okay.
What year was that?
I don't have the year.
2008?
Okay.
I am sorry. I could
Oh
not
yeah,
find it.
I remember his
Yeah, you
wife.
went.
His wife was.
Junior, you were wrong about something?
On that. Like there it is. He went in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Went in with Harry Sparks, Howard Luttrell, Jerry Wilson, Rosemary, Roy Harmon, John Brennan, and Rick Bass. Oh my God. Excuse me. So I wanted to throw that in about the Hall of Fame. We have some contributors.
And you know, Coach Brandon was another one that had a little bit of a speech impediment.
Yeah.
I can remember him talking about the Rockwood Tigers.
As a
Rockwood.
tightest man, he had drove an old Corvair.
Yeah.
And he'd leave the baseball field and go to the clubhouse, had holes in the and balls be dropping out while the cars going down the road.
He reminded me of Sergeant Carter
He
on
did like
Gomer
you.
Pyle.
He was funny.
He's into everything.
Well, last question. Tell me what it means for you when I say Lenoir City Pride.
Oh my goodness. Junior mentioned a minute ago, in my opinion, the only bigger Lenoir City fanatic than me and my wife is Junior Collins and Linda. Lenoir City Pride. Jimmy Matlock, most people know Jimmy, very successful in the tire business, came to me, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. But what spurred this whole idea that Jimmy had, he wanted to create something that we now call the Lenoir City Panther Foundation. But what started that was he went to a Celebration of Life service for the athletic director at Loudon, Ronnie Roberts. Jimmy attended that service, and they held it in the gymnasium at Loudon High School. And he said he looked around and there was red everywhere. People were wearing red, And so Jimmy came to me. Actually, I was sitting at a basketball game in Hardin Valley, and he came over and sat down by me that ball game and started talking about this Lenoir City Panther Foundation. I had no idea. And what his desire was, why can't we be like that? Why can't our community, why can't our businesses, why can't our school all unite, all come together in one common focus on Lenoir City, whatever, basketball, football, baseball, band, doesn't matter. He wanted to try to unite the community in that way. So Don Mabry and Chris Wampler were the three initial guys, and then they added me, David Browder, Jr., Matthew Coleman, and Amber Scott. Am I leaving anybody out, Jr.?
That's it, I think.
Well, we created what was called the Lenoir City Panther Foundation, and we just want to try to unite our community to be supportive of all students of Lenoir City High School, whether it's academics or sports driven, it does not matter. And so we were able to draw enough money together to create in the upstairs of the gymnasium. I don't know when the last time you were in there, but we took all of the folding bleachers out. You had a reserve seat side, and you had another side that had the old wooden bleachers that pulled out just like on the floor. They completely took those bleachers out upstairs, and that is now a weight room. It's a physical fitness center.
It's called Alumni.
And you'll see it on the wall up there. But that was the first thing that happened. We helped support the changes to getting the AstroTurf on the football field. There's a new scorers table that has a LED sign in the front of it in the gym. We've purchased band uniforms. We do an athletic scholarship for a student each year. This past year, we contributed $15,000 to the football team. They had a water heater in the field house that hadn't worked in years. So we put new water heater,
Washer and dryer,
helmets. Commercial grade washer and dryer. Bought a new sled for the team.
Cost $500.
Put televisions in the field house for the players.
Cost $500.
But anyway, our goal is to try to unite this community and bring funds. Tammy and I have season tickets to baseball, football, and basketball, and we've come for years.
Yeah.
So our goal is to try to make our kids more successful, to give them an opportunity. You know, unfortunately, in today's world, a lot of kids come from broken homes, and they don't have opportunities, and we don't want that to be a stumbling block for some of these kids, to try to help them to improve their own lives, to help Lenoir City excel, but mainly to get them a good start in life, and that's what's important to me.
Joe?
You didn't forget the question, did you?
Oh, I'm just thinking along the same lines he was talking about. Some way or another, I can remember back in the 50s, 40s and 50s, on homecoming day, you would have, it was a big deal. alumni would come out, you'd have 100 people. And the high school wasn't all that large. But you'd have alumni people would come out and they'd be introduced, who they were. They would join in a pep rally, a big pep rally. Downtown, then merchants would put in their windows some kind of a football scene or something as a joke or whatever. And then there'd be a parade downtown. And the parade would end up going over to the football field. But everybody was involved pretty much in town.
Yeah.
And I just know growing up, I can just remember the names of, the people like Kenneth Spoon. That's all those guys were big heroes to me.
Sure.
But now, I don't know what to do at homecoming here at school, whether it's
Well, they have pep rallies, but
but you're involving people outside of the school.
that's what upsets me. Now, Loudon sticks together. That's one thing I'd say. They're small and they support their teams, but if you're not a parent or a grandparent, you're not going to see many people at ball games.
No.
Howard and I, we don't have nobody playing. We go, but you know what, Howard? You can't hardly name them on your hand, can you? The people just don't support
I
them.
understand people have priorities, but at the same time, I want to remember my roots.
Yeah.
And alluding back to what I said earlier,
There's a lot of
sports
reasons.
taught me so much about life. I remember the basketball, and I remember a lot of the stuff that happened and the fun that we had. But what I really remember is what it taught me. Joe Lee's 4 principles, putting your life in order. I think it just helps you to be a better human being. If you can stay focused on what's really important, and that's why we come out. But not to mention the side benefits of that. I've made friends with a lot of people.
Sure.
I've met, I meet new athletes, and then I meet their parents, and we become longtime friends, and it's been really good. I would be remiss if I didn't mention. I don't know who I was going to see this, but the Lenoir City Panther Foundation is still alive and well. We have our own webpage. It's lcpantherfoundation.org. I just looked it up. It's still there. It tells a little bit about us, what our mission is, and it gives you ways to contribute if you feel led to help financially. We would welcome that, because every penny of it, not one penny, goes for anything other than dump right back into the school system.